Blindness, José Saramago's masterpiece. Blindness by Nobel laureate José Saramago is not just a novel, it's a mirror. A haunting parable of modern society, it asks us to confront what happens when we are stripped of vision, and whether we ever truly saw to begin with. The story begins in an unnamed city, a place with no specific location, no real names, because it could be anywhere. It could be us. One day, at a traffic light, a man suddenly goes blind. But this isn't ordinary blindness. His vision is filled with a blinding, milky white light, as if he were swimming in a sea of milk. Soon, everyone who comes into contact with him goes blind. The woman who helps him home, the doctor who examines him, and the other patients in the waiting room. Panic spreads. The government, fearing an uncontrollable epidemic, places all the infected in a quarantined asylum. No one is allowed to leave. Soldiers guard the facility, instructed to shoot if anyone tries to escape. There is no care, only containment. What was meant to be protection becomes a prison. At first, the blind try to organize. They divide responsibilities, share food, and try to remain human. But as more and more arrive and supplies dwindle, things spiral. Order collapses. Fear takes over. The blindness is not just physical, it becomes moral. Without consequences, people reveal what they are capable of when no one is watching. Among them is one exception, the doctor's wife. She has not gone blind, but she pretends to be, to stay with her husband. She becomes the only seeing eye in a blind world. She does not lead with force, but with quiet strength, guiding, protecting, and witnessing everything. She becomes conscience made human. Inside the asylum, chaos deepens. A gang of blind men takes over the food supply. They extort others, first for valuables and then for women. In one of the most harrowing scenes in the novel, several women, including the doctor's wife, volunteer to submit themselves to protect the others. One woman dies. In response, the doctor's wife takes matters into her own hands. With a pair of scissors, she kills the gang leader and the rebellion begins. Eventually, fire destroys the asylum. When the survivors flee, they discover the terrifying truth. Everyone in the city is now blind. What once was isolated is now universal. The streets are in ruin. The world has collapsed. No law, no food, no order. The city becomes a jungle, filled with stumbling, frightened, desperate people, and still, the doctor's wife leads her small group through it. They return to her apartment. They bathe, eat, and rediscover small comforts. But nothing is the same. They are alive, but scarred. They are together, but shaken. Then, just as suddenly as it began, the blindness ends. One by one, the characters begin to see again. Their sight returns, but they are changed. The final scene shows the doctor's wife looking out the window, reflecting on everything. And she says the line that pierces the heart of the book. I don't think we went blind. I think we are blind. Blind but seeing. Blind people who can see, but do not see. Themes and meaning. Blindness as a metaphor, not just for disease, but for our indifference, our moral decay, our failure to see what truly matters. Collapse of civilization. Saramago shows how fragile our systems are when tested by crisis. Power of one, the doctor's wife, a woman without a title or position, becomes a leader simply because she sees, not just with her eyes, but with compassion. Human dignity versus desperation, the novel asks. When everything is taken away, what do we still hold on to? We were blind before the blindness. Saramago's style, long sentences, no quotation marks, stream of consciousness narration forces the reader to feel the confusion and chaos. You become immersed, disoriented, as if you too are wandering blind. But in the end, there is hope. In the darkest moments, even a single light, a single person who sees, can guide others. If you've ever felt lost in the noise of the world, if you've ever wondered whether people truly see each other anymore, Blindness will speak to you. And it might just open your eyes.